Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to Crash Bandicoot Warped. Now, one slightly unfortunate thing that happened, I say slightly because it doesn't make too much of a difference in the long run, is I did do the stream, like I said I was going to, where I got my, my 3 gold relics that I could get. And I forgot that it's not necessarily what level you go into, but what... Oh god, that's right, this guy does fire a lot, doesn't he? But like, so I ended up with one of those things where Cortex comes in and talks to me with Uka Uka during the stream. But all it was, you know, the same as always, like, hey, stop fucking with me, you know? It's like, you defeated Tiny, don't be an asshole. And then technically I got another one, but all it was Uka Uka, our mask here. And all it was literally him saying, if you go back into a level... Okay, I'm gonna make this run because I don't know. It was spinning. I think I was too far away for it to actually turn negative, but I didn't want to risk it. But yeah, all it was Uka Uka saying that if you go into a level that you've already beat, you can hit the clock for a time trial. Which, you know, obviously didn't come up in the last... Okay, I was sliding and then I was spinning. I have absolutely no idea how I actually got damaged by that frog. Fucker. Oh, God. So I have switched back to the control stick instead of the D-pad for this one. Because I am reasonably certain that the control stick was in this game, or was for this game, you know? And it does feel right. You know, like, just the way everything is going. It does feel right. Whereas, like, in the other games, the way everything was laid out, you know, it kind of felt weird, I guess, you could say. See, now I'd have my fucking gold mask now if that frog hadn't been an asshole. Oh yeah, you can spin those as well, can't you? Yeah. I keep forgetting exactly how much stuff you can get out of in this game with your spin. Like, you can get out of those, you could get out of those, see, now this frog, if you hit him at the wrong time, he may hit that nitro box and you still get hit by it. And that frog just killed himself in that nitro box, so thanks, I guess. So the thing about this game, right, is the levels aren't really harder than... Because, like, I did end up having to cut a couple of the parts in the second one in half. Or a couple of the sections in the second one in half. So it took me a little bit longer. Now this one here, it might have the same thing, but not due to difficulty. Because the thing about this one is the levels aren't as hard as in the first 2 games for sure. But one thing about them is they are definitely longer. Like, you would get much longer levels in this one than you did in the first 2 games. Like, the first 2 games, the time trials, I think there's only a couple of them out of both games that had, like, a few minutes for a time, like a couple minutes, like 2 minutes for a time trial relic. Whereas there are ones in this one that I do believe are like 3 or 4 minutes, which once again doesn't sound like a lot, and in real life it isn't. But when you're playing a video game, 3 or 4 minutes is quite a bit, especially for something like the relic time trials in this game, right? Oh no, I did get them. Because it's like 3 or 4 minutes. That's not a lot, but how many times are you going to have to attempt those 3 or 4 minutes, right? Because that's all it was in the other ones, right? Like, even in the other ones, there was ones that were like a minute and a half long, and it's like, that's not very long. But when you make it a minute and 15 seconds in, like 10 times, then it starts to get at you, you know? Well, I mean, it starts to get at you long before you hit 10, but, you know. Still getting all the boxes, which is honestly surprising. I honestly didn't think that you could get as many of these gems as you can without the... I don't know. Just weird. So Hagam High has a yellow relic in it, but I think you need to get 5 relics to open up the secret path to get the special warp into this level to get that yellow gem. I'm not 100% on that. That may not be how you get it. It may not be how you get it, and it may be 10 relics and not 5. I mean, there's 2 reasons why it might not be. So those enemies there, right? They were a point of, not controversy, that wouldn't be the right word. They were a point of talk, I guess. A point of conversation when this game got remastered, because obviously you can go into any of these levels as Coco now, right? And those enemies there with the swords, if they hit Crash, it changes, his death animation is they cut off his pants and he just gets like really embarrassed. He gets so embarrassed he dies, you know, like a teenage girl. But if you play as Coco, it just goes to like the standard, you know, I'm dead now thing, you know? Like where her body, or like her soul just leaves her body. Oh my god. Okay, get that one first, just in case. There we go. So yeah, it was like, because they made sure that like the majority of the death animations for Coco were the same as for Crash, right? Because most of them, you know, they're pretty standard, you know. I mean, I don't know if they all are, having not actually played as Coco for more than... I think I played as Coco in the first level of the first 2 games. And that was it, just to get... Because in both of them, I think both of them had... Did I just fuck this up for me, or... Nah, I think I'll be good. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, missed it. You know what? If I didn't have the double mask right now, I would totally just bite the dust, die, and restart this. Go. And kaboom. To get, because I did a lot of that wrong, like all those fucking spinny boxes I did wrong, but I have a double mask and I can't give that up, even though I'm pretty sure I can't get all of the boxes in this level because of the alternate path. No, because the alternate path I do believe lets out. The alternate path in this one I think might be one of those ones where everything on it is just a nitro crate. Because I do believe that the alternate path for this one, where you get the gem, once you're done with it, it lets out like at the end. If I'm remembering correctly. Oh! Okay, so what happened there, right, was I may as well have taken the hit and redid the bonus level to get the better stuff out of it. But what happened there is generally, and I remember this from a kid, where, you know, you hit those guys and then, you know, they had like a little bit of a delay. Oh god, there we go. And they had like a little bit of a delay after you hit them the first time. Yeah, see. Yeah, good old pink boxer shorts. How the fuck did the nitro hit me? There we go. But yeah, like they would get covered in their... Like, they get in the pot, and then there's, like, a slight delay before they would actually charge you. That delay seems to be gone. Or at least not as long as I remember it being. I also think that there is a way to kill them in one go. But I don't remember what that is. Also, that, okay, so let's see. 77. Oh, yeah, okay. But I don't remember what that is. And, shit, no, there was something else I was going to say. I don't remember. Still surprised. I could have sworn that, I don't know. I didn't think you could get all the box gems this well as you went through it. I could have swore there was more that you needed the colored gems for. Although, granted, that is the first colored gem that we've come across, but I do believe one of the first levels does need the red one. I think so, anyway. But what the hell was I going to say? I don't remember. Oh, because I do believe that you can use... Because we got that extra, like that better body slam, right? And if you look, when I hit the ground, you see like that little shockwave that comes out of them? It's a lot better shown here, obviously, than it was in the original. In the original, it's just like a big circle that went out from them. Whereas this one here, it actually has like points of contact in that, which is really cool. But it doesn't show area of effect very well. But I do believe that you can get close enough to the nitro crates to actually blow them up with it. So this here is a race where every other racer starts out super far ahead and is in a big vehicle. The boxes for these aren't necessarily difficult to get, but they are a little bit harder to get. You can't... Because these levels do require more than one go through, because usually if you go for all of the boxes, you're not going to get enough, or you might not get enough speed to win the race. Obviously you can get them both at the same time. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. But just like some boxes like that one there, right? Like if, for the pure race, since I've already missed boxes, I should go more for the race than for the, fuck me. Yeah, see, I didn't even... Yeah. I mean, it came close. I got third. Now, I think it'll let me restart. Yeah, okay. But yeah, the time trials for these, though, are a little... They're not... I don't know. People always say that they're really brutal, the time trials for these, but in reality, they're not. Because, I mean, you have to get first place anyway, right? There is also a way to get a better start. Like, whenever you see Crash do a wheelie, that means that, like, means that he has a speed boost, which is why, you know, he turns so shit, because, you know, his speed boost picks his wheel up off the fucking ground. You know, the wheel that he needs to steer with. But yeah, to get the relics, or the relic for this one, obviously the platinum more than the gold, you need to hit every box, and obviously you would need to be racing good enough. I say racing good enough. It's not too difficult, in all honesty, of a race. Like, these assholes don't really move all that fast. There isn't really all that many shortcuts you can take. Obviously, doing anything like that will probably net you not first place. But yeah, like, as long as you take your turns fairly well, and if you can keep your front wheel off the ground for longer, you know, that should be the gem. Okay. So next time, I guess I'll just race. But I think it'll kick me out here because I got the gem. Yeah. But yeah, I think I got platinum in all of the racing ones because all it is race and get all the boxes. I mean, it's not all that difficult. That, to be fair, was a lot harder than I remember it being. Like, those cars were seemed to be a lot faster. It's one of those things, right, where I kind of want to have the original up at the same time just to see the difference, you know? Yeah, you can stop whatever, Crash. I mean, we didn't get what we went in there for. Just to see how much Vicarious actually changed. Because I know that they even changed the time trials for this, and I highly doubt that they made the ones that were really hard easier. I imagine they probably made the ones that were a little bit easier even harder. But yeah, there is a way... Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's on the second beep, and then you get a little bit of a speed boost at the start. Now, as far as I remember, that was never required for anything. Picking up the Wumpa fruit, like none of it, like the boxes, none of it was required. But I do remember that the longer you could keep on your speed boosts, obviously the better you would do in the race. And then obviously hitting things kind of fucks you up. Even going over the ramps, I don't think that it's worth it. I think that you get like a little bit of a speed boost when you first go over them. But then when you hit the ground again, it slows you down enough that it made the little speed boost, you know, so that it was worthless. Okay. Oh, first place, keep it up. So you are faster than them. If you get into first place, as long as you don't fuck it up, you win. I found out in the Let's Play that I watched of this that you can actually miss that crystal at the end. Because he fucking made it to the end in first place, and when Crash slid across the finish line, he was turning as he was going across the finish line. So, you know, when you cross the finish line, the gem just appears, like, directly in front of wherever you crossed. So as he crossed, he was turning, so the gem appeared, and he slid next to it, and it didn't actually collect it. Pretty sure that wasn't a thing in the original. Pretty sure in the original you just got the gem. So, you know, this one has 2 crystals. I think this one you need the purple gem for.
Mate, Dingodile's the name, and Uka and Cortex gave me orders to bring the crystals to them during the Ice Ages. So give me the goods and shove off, or I'll roast yous.
So that's Dingodile. He's the boss for this world. And he's Australian because, you know, he's part dingo, part crocodile. Not quite sure why he's in the Ice Age. Like, Tiny really looked like he made sense, right? In the Colosseum, because he was a giant fucker. He had his trident, you know, and his armor, and he looked good where he was. Dingodile seems a little bit out of place. You would think that they would have had him more... I don't even know. I mean, granted, you know, it's one of those things, right, where I may not have a better idea, but I feel like there is a better one out there, you know? Because having, you know, an Australian part dingo, part crocodile creature in the Ice Age just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, he goes there with a flamethrower. Which, you know, if you're going to go to the Ice Age and you want a weapon, I guess a flamethrower... Well, to be fair, a flamethrower would be a good weapon in most situations. I mean, there's very few things out there where a flamethrower wouldn't, at minimum, scare it away. I mean, hell, even the alien in Alien Isolation gets scared away by a flamethrower and you can't do any damage to it. Really wish that there was... I kind of want to get... I think that I read somewhere that there is a mod on the PC that you can get for the PC version where you can actually kill the alien in Alien Isolation, and if it didn't require me to play through the game again, which, you know, I've already done way more times than I would like to. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go, got it. I would totally buy it on there and redo it with being able to kill the alien. That would be very fucking nice, you know, and realistic, you know. But whatever. I really like these levels. These levels, I really like them, but if I remember correctly, these are the really hard levels for the time trial. Just because there's so much stuff that can get, like, out of place. So here's this little fucking monkey, right? And he pops out the pots and he throws, I think, rocks at you. I say rocks because he hits you with it and you die. Like, there's no, like, animation that I would imagine like there would be if he was like throwing poop at you or something, you know. Then you also have these guys here. They just drop those rocks on you. You can actually hit this and drop them yourself, which isn't necessarily required, but it makes a couple of the boxes later a little bit easier because there are, in one of these levels anyway, there's a part where there's boxes above where those big blocks go. Come on, open up. Thank you. Yeah, see, because there's this here, and you can't do that there. See, now this here is one of those points, right, where this is the level I thought, because you need the purple gem to open up this door. Where, like, now that I know that you can do the slide jump, which I never knew was a thing when I originally played this game, you know, I can make that jump. Didn't know that when I was a kid. And the reason why I never thought it was a thing, even after, you know, getting all the gems in that, was because one of the abilities you get later lets you glide a little bit. So I just assumed it's like, oh, maybe not necessarily that part, because I do believe that back then you could jump on that little statue in the middle. But yeah, so like I didn't think that it was a thing, because later on I was just like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll come back to this. I need the purple gem anyway, right? Or I would just assume that I need something else, right? Because, you know, I got an ability. Maybe there's an ability that I get later, right? And sure enough, there was an ability that I got later. These seem to be awfully quick. Missed it. Oh, okay, one more. There we go. Where you jump and you just like mash the spin button. It gives you, I think it's called like a tornado power-up or some shit like that. And it lets you just spin continuously for one. So, you know, you don't have to worry about missing your spin because you can just keep spinning. But another thing it lets you do is, miss that jump, is glide across. Like as long as you keep the button hammered down, you'll glide a little bit. Oops. Missed it. Oh, missed it. Oh. Ugh, fuck. Fuck. I think this might be the first level where you can't get the box gem. Because I do believe that there's... Because the reason I remember there's a purple gem path is because I remember having to go through the purple gem path and then having to backtrack through it or through the normal one. Which I fucking hate in games like this, where you have to backtrack through the level where the camera, more specifically, you know, it's because of the camera, isn't designed for you to run backwards, except in the levels where it's specifically designed for you to run backwards. Yeah, I'm missing like 19 fucking boxes. But yeah, I remember the time trials in these ones being super fucking... Like, these were the hard time trials, were these Egyptian ones. I don't remember what I was talking about before I fell off. Oh, yeah, the tornado spin, yeah. So, yeah, like, it was just one of those things where I never really clued in that there was something else I could do to make some of these jumps that was hard, because I just assumed that you then needed the tornado spin for it, you know? So it looks like there's going to be only 2 relics that I can get. Because I should be able to get this one and the motorcycle one. So what I might do, because we are only at like 20 minutes for this part, tearing through this one. I guess the water level probably took a while because it was a really slow level. So what I might do is just, after I'm done fighting Dingodile, is I might just quickly run in, grab the two relics that I can get, and there we go. And then see if that does open up the hang 'em high section to get the colored gem. If it does, I'll do that after Dingodile. If it doesn't, then obviously I won't. So this one here, it is a little bit difficult. The gems for this one, because they're like the one part, like this part right here, is a little difficult if you're not ready for it. Like if you don't remember that that's where it is, because there are, oh fuck, okay. There's another part, I think it might be the next time that I have to go up. There is one of those parts where it has like the flying boxes that I do have to use the sprint jump for. Like you don't see me use the sprint very often, or you're not going to see me use the sprint in this very much, because like I don't need to collect all the boxes, you know. I need to get the gold relic, and I don't think that I think there's only one set of boxes that I need it for. You'll see me use it to bust through those barrels every now and then. You can jump over the barrels, obviously, if you don't want to do that. But, oh yeah, and then that guy there is difficult, whether or not you actually know he's there. Because obviously he gives you way more than enough time of reaction time. But if you don't land that jump just right, you can really get fucked by him, as you just saw. Boink, 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 because you need to land the jump far enough back that you can obviously jump over him then. Now, I think there's one more tiger level, but in all honesty, I can't remember what it is. So that may have been the last tiger level, which is weird because they would put 2 tiger levels like side by side. Although, then again, I do believe that I think there might be 3 races, but one of them is is in the secret areas, or like the relic warp room. And then I think that there's 3 Sea-Doo races, but one of them is in a secret level exit. And I think there's 2 plane areas. Yeah, look at Coco, so fucking happy. Yeah, we got the gem and the crystal at the same time. Dingo Dial. Time to fuck this guy up. So he's an interesting fight, to say the least.
Now you've gone and done it. Them crystals are mine.
But yeah, he's an interesting fight, to say the least. Yeah, I don't know. He can be very difficult when you first fight him if you don't know what you're doing. Or you don't know how he acts, you know? He becomes significantly easier once you get the running shoes. But, like, he does this, right? Which is fine. But then he starts doing this. But the thing about this, right, is he does it based on your movement. So, like, one thing you can do is sit still and wait for him to do it. Or you can move and then just, you know, change direction. And then you just get in there and fuck him up. Like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, he can be very difficult. But as soon as you know what he's up to, he's super fucking easy. Especially those because, fuck. See, I second guessed myself, you know. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go this way. But yeah, like the easiest way to get through that before you get the running shoes is you can either hug the crystals, right? And then when you hug the crystals, you run just like that little bit faster, you know? So you can outrun them, and then, you know, he does try and track you with them, so he will shoot them so that they land closer to the crystals if you're staying near the crystals and whatnot, right? Or you can do like I was doing and just, you know, circle around like that, which also works. Oh. Because if you can keep him... Oh, God. If you can keep him aiming the same way like that, it works out really fucking well. Like, if you just, like, turn right just at the right time or so, you know. Because it works out supremely well. Oh, yeah, then he starts doing this. Which, in all honesty, is easier. But he does start shooting a little bit faster. But he's still not... Oh, fuck. What? Okay. I don't actually know what just happened there. I really, really don't. Maybe... Oh, I do know what just happened there. I forgot about that. If you make him take out too many of the crystals, he will just shoot up. And get more. Penta's Revenge. Yeah, Penta's the penguin, by the way. Oh yeah, there we go. So now we got double jump, which is another reason why I never knew the sprint or the slide jump was a thing, right? Because I got that and I'm like, oh, that's how you get to the higher up stuff that you couldn't get to before, right? It's like, or there's some stuff where you could use the slide jump and get up it, you know? It wasn't necessarily that you needed the double jump for it. But yeah, like we're only at like a half hour, which isn't bad. But I kind of want to see if that is how you get that. So I will be back once I hopefully get the 2 gold relics relatively easy, hopefully. I mean, these levels aren't all that hard. These auto run levels like this. So we'll see.
Well, haven't we gotten far for a pair of fuzzy marsupials? I am Dr. Nefarious Tropy, master of time and the creator of the very time twister machine you see before you. Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex have sent me to end this little charade, so you won't be leaving my area with the crystals. I swear it.
Alright, so that's my 5th one, yep, which did unlock this in the center, just like I remember. Now this here's the secret warp room. As you can see, there are 5 different levels. You unlock them by earning relics. See, requires... So like this one here requires 10. That is Hang 'em High. It does require 10. I guess we'll do Sky Craze then, since I unlocked it and since Hang 'em High is in there. Now, theoretically, I could just go and get regular relics to do it. Like, I don't need the gold relics to unlock the levels. I just need relics. But at the same time, like, I mean, I'd much rather just get the gold ones when I did, or when I can. You know, at the same time, I do kind of want to go back and get them just so that I have the yellow gem. But so I wasn't going to do this originally. I was just going to save these and have them all as their own thing, but then I remembered that, you know, Hang 'em High was down here, or that, like, the secret exit for Hang 'em High was here, or entrance, I guess, and that's how you got the yellow gem. So I would much rather, you know, have the yellow gem than just have an extra part where I, you know, play through the bonus levels. Because another thing I could have done for it is also save the 2 secret exits, which I may or may not save those. I don't know. I guess it depends on... Because I don't remember exactly where those levels are, for one thing. Like, I remember where the secret exits are, but I don't remember where the levels that they're in are. So we'll see. Like, one is a motorcycle level and one is a dinosaur level, but they're not the ones that we already did. Yeah, pretty sure they're not the ones we already did. Well, I can guarantee you they're not the one dinosaur level that we already did. I'm like 80% sure it's not the motorcycle level that we just did. So, I mean, we'll do it this way. Just like in the other one, you know, there's nothing real special about the bonus levels besides they're just bonus levels that use some of the mechanics that the other levels that you may not see as much. Although I will say, I do believe that there is 2 of these Sea-Doo levels in the main game. Then there's this one down here. And then one of the secret exits is also a Sea-Doo level. So there is a lot. Now the secret levels, I don't know if after you unlock them, you have a way to just play them. I think the only way to get into them is to go into the original level and do the secret exit, as far as I remember. That could be something that they change for this game. It doesn't seem like something that they would, but that could very well be something that they changed for this game, where if after you unlock it, it puts a portal for it, which would be nice, because that's all they did for the second game. Obviously, you didn't need relics to unlock anything. All you needed was to find the exits. God. So this thing here, it doesn't, it's what do you call it? It's like minimum, like if I just tap it, you know, it's kind of hard to get like a small boost, you know, from it. Oh my God. And then obviously since you're in water, you do, you know, slide a little bit. Go, I guess. Oh, I see how it's working. Whatever. Yeah, this is significantly harder than the rest of the, like, all of these levels down here. Like, when we played through the secret levels of the second one, they weren't really all that much more difficult than the regular levels. Mainly because, you know, for the most part, they were the regular levels. Like, there was what? There was 2 that weren't just extra entrances to the regular levels. And, but, like, they weren't very hard, right? This one here, I do believe most, if not all, of these, oh God, secret areas, if you can do that right, I do believe for, like, the platinum on this one, you basically need to play through this section. Like, this section's, like, the big platinum killer for this one because of all of the boxes and that. Because, like, you have to hit these just right. Because, like, if you go off these ramps wrong, you're hitting a nitro crate, or you're hitting you're hitting a bomb on your landing, you know, like you got to do that, which, you know, may not look all that difficult, but I can guarantee you it is not easy. Thankfully, you don't need all that much speed, and by all that much, I mean you don't really need any speed whatsoever to clear the to clear the stuff on the jumps. Oh my god, this is horrid. All the way back here, no, that's so bad. So that's always nice, but at the same time, it's like, ugh. Just gonna not power over there. Okay, so this one here, you can get both of these. You need to do, it's not easy to do by any means. You need to center yourself just right and make sure that you get the spin in there so that, you know, you get that little bit extra oomph. Oh, missed that one. Or not that little bit extra oomph. You get that little bit extra width out of her, because when she's sideways, obviously she has more, she can hit more stuff. Now, these ones in here, like I said, you don't have as much control as you would like when you have to do stuff like this. Like, you can... that, line it up, point, and then, all right. Like, you can, in all honesty, like, give it like the smallest tap. It's just not all that easy, you know. You can also fuck up and miss that gem. But yeah, that is obviously significantly harder than most of those levels that you come across. Like, the bonus level with it isn't necessarily an easy level, but it's just like a big circle, so you're not really pressured at any point. Even when you're doing the time trial, I do believe that there's like a really easy way. There's like either, because when you start the, well, I guess you'll see when we get to it. But yeah, that was the first bonus level even, so that was awesome. All right. So that's been Crash. We defeated Dingodile. We did the first, we found the secret area of Neocore Systems, where they're building all of those dudes that, like the scientist guys that we see. If you look in the back, you can see them. And I think as in, not necessarily an Easter egg, but if you watch, they actually change which ones there are. And then they have like little portals that they send them through. Now I don't, so like this next one is an Egyptian one. So let's see what he goes through. Yeah, the portal looks like it's the same every time. But like, it's just like a little Easter egg. You can see where all the scientist dudes come from. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.